Hi children, I am your Srinivasan from Sri Sai Sadbhavana School. Now we are moving to the 11th lesson, that is matter and materials. Matter and materials. You know very well what is the matter and materials. What we are seeing around us, they are all called as matter and materials. Everything what we are using daily life and everything we will discuss in this. Before that, important terms they have given. Texture, that is the meaning. What is the meaning? Structure. Definite, sure. Stirring, to shake vigorously. Soda and aerated water. Volume, amount of space used by an object. Iodine, an element whose solution is used to treat wounds. So this is about the words. So these words are come in the lesson. At the time, we will once again glance the terms. Now we will move to the lesson. First I will read the first para. Look at the textbook. We find many objects around us. They are different from one another in terms of shape, size, color and texture. Every object has two properties in common. All these objects occupy some space. Your computer takes up some space on the desk. You take up space on the chair. The amount of space occupied by an object is called its volume. All objects have weight. They are given about the objects first. We find many objects around us. Yes, you can see so many objects in your home, in your school, wherever you go, there are so many objects. For example, chair, table, your desktop, your mobile, your utensils, everything, whatever, water, air, yes, everything. They are all the comes under objects. Once again, they divided into different, but they are all comes under the objects. They are different from one another in terms of shape, size, color, and texture. Yes, they are very different. For example, water, it is flowing, but chair, it cannot flow. It will stand in some place. Air, yes, everywhere. We can't see it. Even we can't taste it. We cannot smell it. But water, we can taste it. Like that, it has terms of shape. They are different in the shapes. Sizes also. One is small, one is bigger, one is more larger. Like that. And color. Color is also different. For example, gold, it is in gold color. Iron, it is in some black color. Copper, it is in the one color. Like that, water, no color. Air, no color. And texture, made by, texture means by the material. They are made by the different materials. All these objects occupy some space. Yes, they occupy some space. If you keep the mobile, it occupies some space. If you sit on the chair, you occupy some space. If you keep some water in the bottle, it occupies some space. Air occupies everywhere. That means it occupies the space. Like that, all the things, all the objects occupy some space. The amount of space occupied by an object is called its volume. How much the space it occupies, that is called as its volume. We call it as volume. What we call it as? We call it as volume. So volume means the space occupied by the object is called as volume. All objects have weight. Yes, anything. For example, air has also weight. Water has weight. Mobile has weight. Chair, table, anything. You see, even we have the weight also. So all the objects have volume and the weight. So these are the two important characteristics of the objects. They occupy space, that is called as volume, and they have the weight. Next come to matter. What is the matter? See here, they have given some examples of objects: bucket, water in the tub, book, chair, computer, and everything they have given. Next, matter. What is matter? I will read. Object that occupies space and has weight is called matter. Everything around us is made up of matter. Our book and pencil is made up of matter. Our body is also made up of matter. Matter is made of tiny particles known as atoms. Some metals like gold, platinum and carbon are able to exist alone. This means that they do not combine with any other atom. However, some atoms are so active that they usually combine with other atoms of the same kind to form a molecule. The atoms of hydrogen, oxygen and chlorine combine to form the molecules of hydrogen, oxygen and chlorine respectively. Yes, next come to matter. Next come to matter. What is the meaning of matter? Objects that occupy space and weight is called matter. Yes, which occupies the space as well as which has got the weight, they are all called as matter. What are the things we are seeing? They are all called as matter. Everything around us is made up of matter. Our book, pencil, pen, everything is made up of matter. Our body is also made up of matter. Our body is also made up of matter only. Matter is made up of tiny particles known as atoms. Yes, this is very important word. Atoms. What is this word? Atoms. All the materials, all the matter is made up of atoms. Some matters like gold, platinum and carbon are able to exist alone. That means they do not mix with the others. They mix up, but they exist alone. While we are extracting, they exist with, we can get them in pure form. For example, gold, platinum and carbon. We get them in the pure form. That means only the gold atoms, only the platinum atoms, only the carbon atoms, they exist in the pure form. That means they don't mix up at the time of we are getting them. Okay. So many other matters are there which exist in the pure form. This means that they do not combine with any other atom. However, some atoms are so active that they usually combine with other atoms of the same kind to form a molecule. That means they form the molecules. One atom plus two, another atom plus three, another atom. They will make and form the molecule. For example, hydrogen molecule. Some atoms of hydrogen join and make the hydrogen molecule. Oxygen, some 2 or 3 atoms join and make the hydrogen oxygen molecule. Chlorine, it also joins, some atoms join and make the chlorine atom. Combine to form the molecules of hydrogen, oxygen and chlorine respectively. That means, for example, oxygen one atom plus another one atom, they will join and make the oxygen molecule. Like this. Why we are writing O, oxygen? When you come to the higher classes, you come to know why we are writing for the O, for the oxygen. Hydrogen, H plus H gives rise to H2 or 2H. Like this they will write. Okay, everything you learn in the higher classes. When you come to the 7th standard and 8th standard, you come to know what is this and what is this about this. In this lesson also they have given, I will explain afterwards. So here just you learn what is atom and what is molecule. What is atom and what is molecule. So atoms means matter is made up of tiny particles known as atoms. Atoms are the small particles by which the matter is made up. Of. Next, if for example oxygen is made up of oxygen atoms. If 2 or more oxygen atoms are formed together and make the molecule of oxygen, that is called as molecule of oxygen. I hope you understand what is the atom and what is the molecule. Okay. Next come to matter. Matter can also be formed from molecules containing different atoms. Yes, matter can be made up of different atoms. For example, water is made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. 2 atoms of hydrogen plus 1 atom of oxygen gives rise to 1 molecule of water. It has the same molecular structure whether it is solid, liquid or gas. See here they are given 1 atom of oxygen or 2 atom of hydrogen plus 1 atom of water. 1 atom of oxygen gives rise to 2H2O or H2O. H2O means water. 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. When you join, you will get the H2O. H2O means water. H2O means water. 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen When you mix up, they will form another one molecule, that is water. Okay, here they are given. Matter can also be formed from molecules containing different atoms. For example, water is made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. If you make some chemical reaction, then we will get the hydrogen as well as the oxygen separately by the water. By the water, we can separate hydrogen as well as the water. Sorry, as well as the oxygen. Here, 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen makes 1 molecule of water. 1 molecule of water, it has the same molecular structure whether it is a solid, liquid or gas. You know very well, water exists in liquid, solid as well as in the gas. Liquid means what we are seeing the water. Solid means ice cubes. Liquid means in the water vapor, in the form of water vapor. Wherever you take, this hydrogen and oxygen are present in the water. Okay, I have to understand this one also. Next we will move to the states of matter. States of matter. There are 3 different states of matter. The book you are reading is different from the water you drink or the air you breathe. Everything is made from particles called atoms and molecules. The properties of an object depend upon the arrangement of particles present in it. There are 3 types of matter. That means matter exists in 3 states. Matter exists in 3 states. Which are they? First one is solid. Second one is liquid. Third one is gaseous state, or we call it as gas. Matter exists in 3 states. Matter exists in 3 states. Okay. For example, the book you are reading is different from the water you are drinking, or the table is different from the air, because air is moving very fast, but the table cannot move. It is a solid one. We can easily cut the water. That means we will divide the water into different parts, but we cannot easily cut the iron rod into different parts easily. According to the structure of the molecules, they are divided into 3 states, that is solid, liquid and gas. I will read this para once again. There are 3 different states of matter. The book you are reading is different from the water you drink or the air you breathe. Everything is made from particles called atoms and molecules. Yes, all the matter is made up of atoms and molecules. The properties of an object depend upon the arrangement of particles present in it. Yes, according to the arrangement of atoms or particles in the object depends upon, they will divide it as solid, liquid and gas. Once again I will explain. Depending upon the arrangement of the molecules in the object, the matter is divided into solid, liquid and gas. Okay, in some they are arranged very closely, in some free, in some very free. Okay, we will go to one by one now. First one is solid. I will read this para. In a solid, particles are arranged in a regular pattern touching each other. They attract one another with strong forces, hence solids are quite strong. Solids do not flow, they have definite shape and volume. Books, clothes, vehicles, etc. are solid. Liquid. The particles are close one another, but they do not necessarily touch one another. They are arranged in a random pattern. The attractive forces in between these particles are not as strong as they are in solids. These particles move in all directions, changing places all the time. Liquids can flow easily. They take up the shape of the container in which they are kept. Water and milk are liquids. Next come to gas. The particles are loosely spread out. They are not arranged in any pattern. The attractive force are very small. The particles keep changing their places all the time. Gases spread out quickly to fill the space available to them. The smell of perfume and deodorant spreads out once they are out of spray bottle. See, they have given about the solid, liquid and gas, how the atoms or molecules are joined together in the solid, liquid and gas. I will explain now one by one. First we will go for the solid. In a solid, particles are arranged in a regular pattern touching to each other. That means in the solid, all the particles are touching to each other. That means there is no gap between the particles. There is no gap between the molecules or the particles. Like this, they are arranged very closely, very strongly. And they have the force of attraction. They have the force of attraction between each other. Between this one and this one, the force of attraction is more. We can't easily remove them. We can't easily remove them or separate them. They attract one another with strong forces. They attract with one another with very strong forces. For example, in metals like iron, silver, gold and everything, they are very strong. Pure gold is less, but when it is mixed up with some copper, it becomes very strong. Okay. For example, aluminium, they are all very strong. We can't easily bend them. Why? Because of this one only. In wood also, it is very strong. In the chair, table and everything, what we are seeing, the solid, they are all very strongly bonded particles. For example, this chalk, see, this is also very strongly bonded. We can't remove this. If you want to cut it, you have to apply some force. Then only they will cut. Okay, like this, they are very strongly bonded by the strong force. Hence, solids are quite strong. For that reason only, solids are very, very strong. Solids do not flow. Like the water, they can't flow. Is any chair is flowing? No. If you do anything, it can't flow from one place to another place. They have definite shape and volume. Yes, they have the definite shape as well as the definite volume. They occupy some space, they occupy anywhere you keep, they will occupy the same space. It cannot be possible to compress them. It is not possible to compress them. Okay, solids are hard and rigid, they occupy the same space. Shape, they have definite shapes and volume. For example, which are the solids? Books, clothes, vehicles, chair, table, your house, your utensils, everything there comes under solids. They all comes under solids. Next, move to liquid. The particles are close to one another, but they do not necessarily touch one another. Yes, here they are also very close to each other, but necessarily they don't touch. Necessarily they don't touch. That means the force of attraction between these particles is very less. They are arranged in a random pattern. That means here and there they are moving. The attractive force in between these particles are not as strong as they are in solids. Yes, in solids the attraction force is very strong, but in liquid it is less. Compared to the solid, it is less. These of particles move in all directions, changing places all the time. Yes, they are moving. If you tilt the water, for example water, if you pour it, it will move. It will flow. From one glass to another glass, you will easily pour. They don't take any time. Just if you pour, it will flow. Just you open the tap, it will flow. Why? The force of attraction between the molecules is very less. These particles move in all directions, changing places all the time. Yes, whenever you want, they will change the place. Liquids can flow easily. You know very well, we can easily flow the liquids. They take up the shape of the container in which they are kept. Yes, if you keep in the glass, in the tumbler, it will take the shape of the tumbler. If you keep it in a bottle, it will take the shape of the bottle. If you keep it in a vessel, it will take the shape of the vessel. But solids, not like that. If you keep the book in a table, on the table, it will on the same table, in the same shape. If you keep it in the bureau or anywhere, it will in the same shape. But water not like that. If you fill in the tank, it will take the shape of the tank. Water and milk are liquids. Which are the examples for liquids? Water, milk, oils. What you are pouring your cooking oils, they are all comes under the liquid. Medicines. So they are all come under the liquids. I hope you understand what is the solid and what is the liquid. Next we'll move to gas. They are given factor scope. Liquids can flow easily and are called fluids. Liquids are called fluids. Why? They flow easily. Therefore, they are called as fluids. The another name for liquids is fluids. Okay. Next, the gas. The particles are loosely spread out. They are not arranged in any pattern. The attractive forces are very small. The particles keep changing their places all the time. Gases spread out quickly to fill the space available to them. The smell of perfume and deodorant spread out once they are out of spray bottle. Yes, the particles are very loosely spread out. In this gas, they are arranged in very, very rare. That means they are very loosely arranged. The force of attraction is very, very less. The force of attraction is negligible. That means we may think that there is no force of attraction also. The particles keep changing their places all the time. They are always moving. They did not stay anywhere. They are always moving in the gaseous state. Gases spread out quickly to fill the space available to them. Yes, they start filling the space available. That means they are moving from high pressure to low pressure. For example, when you start the perfume, when you spray the perfume, yes, the throw inside the room full, it will spread. When you burn the incense stick, the smell that is coming in the form of the foam, that dark black color is coming out, it is spread throughout the room. That is also we call it as gaseous state. And when you spray the perfume, that also spread throughout the air, inside the air, and we'll get the smell. For example, when some garbage is there spread, okay, from the far away distance, we can smell it. And we can close the nose. How? Because they are spreading throughout that area. So the smell of perfume and deodorant spread out once they are out of spray bottle. Okay. Next come to change of state of water. So this is about the states of matter. There are 3 states of matter: solid, liquid and gas. In the solid, the molecules are very strongly bonded together. The force of attraction is more. So they bonded together and they are very strong for that reason only. In liquid, the force of attraction is less. They will occupy the container, shape of the container into which you will pour. Okay, they can easily flow. Therefore, they are called as the fluid. In the gas, the atoms are arranged, or the molecules are arranged very loosely, so they can move from one place to another place easily. They can occupy the space where it is available. They can occupy easily. So this is about the states of matter. Next, we'll move to the change of state of water. Water can exist in more than one form. It exists in 3 different forms: solid, liquid and gas. Liquid water can be seen when it rains or running down a river. Pure liquid water is free of salt, rock, soil and garbage. Ice, snow and frost are the examples of water in the solid state. Liquid water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. Water evaporates to turn into the gaseous state. We cannot see a gas, but sometimes we can feel and smell a few of them. Keep a wet cloth in the sun for some time. The water from the clothes evaporates due to the heat of the sun. So this is the change of state of water. You know very well water can exist in 3 states: solid, liquid as well as the gas. Solid form is ice cubes, liquid form is the water we are seeing, and the gas form in the air. Okay, so water can exist in more than one form. It exists in different 3 forms: solid, liquid and gas. Liquid water can be seen when it rains or running down a river. Yes, when it rains, we can see the water and the river is flowing, or in your home, you are seeing the water. Pure liquid water is free of salt, rock, soil and garbage. That means when the rain falls, that is the pure water. It also mixes up with some gases, but compared to the other things, it is pure water. When it flows or when it comes to the earth, or when it is flowing, it dissolves the salts, whatever are available in the soil. It dissolves all the salts and everything, with the mud and everything, it mix up and flowing in the form of the river. Ice, snow and frost are the examples of water in the solid state. Ice, snow and frost, these are the examples of water in the solid state. Liquid water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. Yes, when you keep some water in the fridge, for some time it will become solid. How the ice cream has made, that is in the solid form. Yes, it is in the, first it is in the liquid, that is in the milkshake. When you kept in the freezer for some time, then it will become solid. That is how they made the ice. Water evaporates to turn into gaseous state. That means when you evaporate the water, when you heat the water, it evaporates and forms the gaseous state. We cannot see a gas, but sometimes we can feel and smell a few of them. We cannot see the gas, but we can feel and we can smell a few of them. Keep a wet cloth in the sun for some time. Yes, take the wet cloth and keep it for some time in the sunshine. What will happen? It dries. Where is the water gone? Yes, it evaporates due to the sun heat. If you want to see, or if you want to check the water present in the air, what you have to do? Take one steel tumbler, steel or any glass. You put some ice cubes in it. You put some ice cubes in it. Okay. Keep it for some time on the table. Don't touch it. Observe after few minutes. Observe after few minutes, some water droplets are formed here outside the tumbler. How they are coming? How they are formed? How they are formed? Because the water which is present in the air cools air and it becomes the water. When you cool the air, then we can get the water. We can get the water. Okay, so this is how we can see the water droplets which are present in the air. That means water exists in three states, that is solid, liquid as well as the gas. Okay, liquid water, that is example for liquid. Solid ice is the example for the solid state of water, and the water vapor is the example for the gaseous state of water. Hold your hand in front of your mouth about 1 inch away from you. Breathe out slowly for a few minutes on the palm of your hand. Your palm would feel as if it is wet. The moist feeling is due to water vapor. Yes, you can see like this, like that. Then your palm will feel some cold. That means water vapor which is present, that will fill you by this. By this we can say air, in the air water vapors are present. This is the best example. You can feel. Okay. Next come to phase changes. How the phase is changing. How the water changes its phase from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. Water changes from one state to another. The change of water from solid to liquid and then to gas or in reverse direction is called phase change. Melting, freezing, condensation and evaporation are part of the process of phase change. The phase of a substance depends on temperature and pressure. Water changes from one state to another. You know very well, water can exist in three states, solid, liquid as well as in the gas. To change that state, it needs some energy. It needs some energy. To change of water from solid to liquid and then to gas or in reverse direction is called phase change. What we call it as phase change. That means it is changing from solid to liquid, from liquid to gas, or from gas to liquid, liquid to solid. They are called as phase changes. Phase means state. That means solid state to liquid state to gaseous state, or from gaseous state to liquid state to solid state. Melting, freezing and condensation and evaporation are part of the process of change. First, if they are in the solid state, you have to melt it to become liquid. If they are liquid, you have to freeze them to get the solid water. Or if it is in the liquid state, you have to evaporate it. You have to evaporate it for the purpose to get the gaseous state. Once again, if you want to get the water from the gaseous state, you have to condense it. You have to condensation it So this is called as the phase change. The phase of substance depends on temperature and pressure. The phase of substance depends on the temperature and pressure. If you apply more temperature, then it will come to, for example, you take the ice cubes. If you give some temperature, it will turn into water. If you give more temperature, then it will evaporate. According to the temperature, the state changes. According to the temperature, the state changes. They are given here, see, ice melt, you get the water. Once again you boil it, you get the vapor. Reverse phenomena, they are given in reverse phenomena also. See, they are given the arrow mark like this. That means from this state to this state or this state to this state. What they are given first? Ice. So melting. This is melting. You can get water. On heating or boiling, you can get vapor. Water, vapor. When you condense this, condensation, that means cooling the water vapor, you can get the water. When you freeze this, you can get the ice. Here, change of matter. From ice to water, you have to melt. From water to vapor, you have to boil it. From vapor to water, you condense it. From water to ice, you freeze it. Then this the phase changing will occur. Liquid water changes to solid ice at a temperature below 0 degree Celsius. Yes, if the temperature is less than the 0 degree, then the water becomes ice. This process is called freezing. When ice is heated, it changes into water. Yes, when ice is heated, it changes into water. This process is called melting. What we call it as melting. When water is boiled at high temperature, it gets changes into water vapor. This process is called evaporation. They are given here freezing, melting and evaporation. Freezing, from water to solid. When you keep the water below the 0 degree Celsius, that means in the freezer or in the fridge, you can get freezing. So that is called as liquid state to solid state. Okay, that changes liquid state to solid state. Once again, if you want to get the water, then melt the ice, you will get the liquid water. If you melt more or boil the water, that is called as evaporation. You will convert the water into water vapor. So these are called as the freezing, melting and evaporation. Okay, next come to when water vapor changes into water on cooling, it is called condensation. When water vapor changes into water on cooling, it is called as condensation. Yes, this is called the condensation. What we are calling, we are keeping some ice, then we will get the more water. We will get the water, not more water, we will get the water which is present in the water vapor. That is called as condensation. Okay, if you take the air and fill in some tank, then you cool it, then you will get the water from that one. Then you will get the water from that air. When solid iodine is heated up, the purple colored fumes of iodine are observed. The process by which solid directly gets turned into gaseous form on heating is called sublimation. Yes, when solid iodine is heated up, the purple colored fumes of iodine are observed. That means purple color of fumes, what we call it as fume, they are observed. That means iodine directly from solid to gas it is converting. That is called as sublimation. The camphor what we are using in our home, that is also called sublimation. That means they didn't come to the liquid state. Directly they convert from solid to the gaseous state. That is called as sublimation. That is called as sublimation. Next come to solution. When sugar is stirred in water, it gets dissolved. Here sugar is said to be soluble in water. When a solid gets dissolved in a liquid, it forms a solution. Sugar in this case is a solute and water is a solvent. Yes, now we will move to the solution. You know very well, sugar dissolves in the water. Salt also dissolves in the water. Some materials will dissolve in the water. For example, rasna pocket or some juice are mixed up with the water. So that is called that. After that mixing, that is called as solution. Before that it is water. After that mixing, it is called as solution. If you put some sugar into the water, then it is called as sugar solution. If you put some salt into the water, that is called as salt solution. When sugar is stirred in water, it gets dissolved. Yes, you know very well. When you put some sugar into the water and you just to stir it, what will happen? It gets dissolved. Here sugar is said to be soluble in water. Yes, sugar is soluble in the water. When a solid gets dissolved in a liquid, it forms a solution. It forms a solution that is called as sugar solution, salt solution, like that. Sugar in this case is solute and the water is a solvent. Sugar is called as the solute and water is called as the solvent. The substance which gets dissolved is called as solute. Yes, what we are adding to the water, that is called as solute. And the substance in which a solute is dissolved is called as solvent. Yes, in which the material is dissolving, that is called as solvent. The solute and the solvent together form a solution. Both will form, after that we call it as a solution. That means when we mix up solute and the solvent, it gives result to the solution. Solid liquid solution. Sugar is a solid and water is a liquid. When a solid is dissolved in a liquid water to form a solution, it is called solid in liquid solution. The level of water in the beginning and at the end of the activity remains the same. This is because sugar molecules do not take up any extra space but take up the space between the water molecules. An eraser is insoluble in water, it takes up some space. So there is rising the level of water in the measuring jar when an eraser is put into it. Yes. Solid liquid solution. Sugar is solid, water is liquid. When you take one glass full of water and add some sugar, stir it, what happens? Any rise in the volume? No, the water does not rise in the volume because that sugar dissolves in the liquid. Then where did it went? It occupies the space of the molecules. In the liquid, it has some space. Here it occupies the space. Here it occupies the space because it dissolves. It also converts into the liquid form. The sugar also converts into liquid form. So it occupies the spaces in between the molecules. So there is no rise in the volume. There is no rise in the volume. But when you put some rock or some small stone or some eraser into the water, when it is filled up, some water will fall down. Why? It increases the volume. It increases the volume because it cannot dissolve. The solid cannot occupy the spaces between the molecules, cannot occupy the spaces in between the water molecules. This is solid, hard. It cannot dissolve. So it increases the volume of the water. What they are given here, that one only. Sugar is a solid and water is liquid. When a solid sugar is dissolved in a liquid water to form a solution, it is called solid in liquid solution. The level of water in the beginning and at the end of the activity remains the same. This is because sugar molecules do not take up any extra space but take up the spaces between the water molecules. An eraser is insoluble in water. It takes up some space, so there is a rise in the level of water in the measuring jar when an eraser is put into it. The water level rises. Next, liquid solution. When milk is added to water initially, milk spreads slowly throughout the water. You can see it spreading. After stirring, the color spreads uniformly. This is because milk is completely soluble in water. Here, both water and milk are liquids. Hence, the solution is called liquid in liquid solution. Yes, first one is solid in liquid solution. That is, sugar is solid, water is liquid. When you add both liquids, for example, water and milk, when you bring the milk from the shop, you are mixing some water. After mixing stir it, we cannot find separately. We can't see water separately and the milk separately. You get the milk solution. That means liquid in liquid solution. Milk is also liquid, water is also liquid. So both liquids are mixed and form a solution. Form the solution. The color of the water changes into the milk color. That means it spreads equally. It spreads equally. So this is called as liquid in liquid solution. Liquid in liquid solution. Here both water and milk are liquids. So it is called as liquid in liquid solution. First one is solid in liquid solution. Second one is liquid in liquid solution. Come to gas liquid solution. When you open a soda bottle, you will observe bubbles of gas coming out of the soda. These are bubbles of gas called carbon dioxide. This shows that soda is a liquid in which a gas, carbon dioxide, has been dissolved. Hence, it is an example of gas in a liquid solution. Yes, when you open some Thumbs Up, Pepsi or anything, water bubbles are rising. From where they are coming? Water bubbles means that is the air or the gas. That is the gas. They mix up with the water. That is called as aerated water. It is called as aerated water. They mix up some carbon dioxide to get that bubbles. Okay. This shows that soda is a liquid in which a gas has been dissolved. Hence, it is an example of gas in a liquid solution. That means some gas is mixed up with the solution or the liquid. So this ends the lesson. In this lesson, we can come to across with the what is the molecule, what is the matter, and matter exists in three states: solid, liquid, and gas, and how the water changes from solid to liquid and liquid to gas, or from gas to liquid, liquid to gas. We have already learned, and the three types of solutions, that is solid liquid solution, liquid liquid solution, and gas liquid solution we learned. I hope you understand this lesson. We will meet in the next class with new lesson. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.